Incredible players. Little ZVZ mirror action to start us off today. Steadfast, you're Canadian. Do you say Z or Z?
I have to catch myself and force myself to say Z, but the temptation to say Z is always there.
Good, good. American culture spreading across the globe. I like it. Well, let's introduce our first player here. Spawning in the top right-hand side of Oxide LE, we have got our blue Zerg player representing Italy and Clash. He is Reynor.
And we've got spawning down in the bottom left position of the map, representing TKAP.
You chickened out.
I did. It is Denver. What is it? Coca Authentique Papi?
That's exactly correct. Your French is much better than mine. Coca Authentique Papite. I don't know what it means. Coca's authentic small something? I don't speak French. What do we expect me to be? A foreigner? Come on, Steadfast. Looks like standard builds here from both players. Now, Steadfast, people who don't watch you a whole lot might not know you're a bit of a big brain, wrinkle brain Zerg expert. And I don't want to oversell you or anything, but I love having you on the stream, especially for this specific matchup because you know so much about ZVZ and you make it so easy to understand. So myself and everybody back home are going to be relying on you pretty heavily to sort of walk us through what these guys are doing, because I think it's fair to say that both Reynor and Denver are incredibly intelligent and unique players in the ZVZ realm.
Absolutely. Of course, Reynor is very well known for his really being the only player to kind of match Cyril in not just, well, in a macro game, in every aspect of the game, and actually be able to become a rival against him. Denver, of course, doesn't quite have that pedigree, but as anyone will tell you, anyone will know, the European ZVZ is so intelligent. There's such a huge brainchild to draw from, and it just makes for such an interesting combination of intelligences. And speaking of which, we're seeing something very, very greedy out of Reynor right off the bat. Carapace first, before Ling speed. And this is the kind of build that I really, really love seeing out of Reynor, because he is going to garner so much respect from his opponents. And Denver, he's just not going to be expecting this. There's no way you expect a player that on paper is favored to do something like this, to go for such a greedy, quote-unquote, risky build. And what makes it risky is if you go for, like, let's say a 25 to 29 drone Ling Bane all-in off of 3 hatch, that is extremely difficult to hold when you go Carapace first. You don't have speed, you don't have that upgrade, and you don't have a Baneling nest just yet.
Right. Yeah, so Denver could be eyeing a pretty significant timing here. It looks like he is going to go for an Evo Chamber first, which means unlikely that he's going to get that Baneling nest down in time for that all-in you were talking about, already up to 32 drones. Now he's going for a Roach Warren behind this. Obviously, Carapace upgrade improves the Carapace for both Lings and Roaches, making it a little bit more of a versatile build, but there's no Roach Warren on Reynor's side, and it doesn't look like he's in any position to grab one anytime soon. He still has 3 drones in gas, but no third base. Steadfast, is he going straight up to Lair to go for some tier 2 tech right away?
That is kind of what it feels like. He is going to be going for a good number of Lings, trying to hit this Carapace timing. Oh, this Ling isn't going to get the scout. Very important information. It will find out about that Evo Chamber first. Now, he doesn't know if it's +1 melee or +1 Carapace, but seeing that is such an important thing, and Denver is going to start pumping out his own Lings.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly why Reynor dropped down that Roach Warren, right? He realized he's been spotted. His greedy build has been identified, and he's like, okay, I gotta be ready. There's gonna be some counter pressure here. I love this play from Reynor, by the way, to move across the field and put some pressure on Denver immediately. One of the best ways to prevent your opponent from getting good pressure on you is to get a little bit of pressure on them first. So he's gonna get a full surround here on this third base, and the Ling count right now for Denver, a little bit low, 18 to 21, and actually a really nice initial surround there from Reynor, Steadfast.
Yeah, and that is the power of that +1 Carapace. It is such a huge game changer. Now, the Queens will help out a ton. Of course, no +1 melee means that you don't tear down Roaches, you don't tear down Queens quite as quickly. So Denver with a really nice initial hold right here. Now, we are seeing Denver go for that +1 missile. Of course, that is the most standard thing. He did start that before seeing the Evo, and he didn't know if it was Carapace or +1 attack. But against Lings, that will be nullified a little bit, but it's still going to be a very, very useful upgrade moving forward into the later stages of the game. He just won't see that early initial value that you normally do when +1 missile comes online.
Yeah, absolutely. God, man, Steadfast, I love casting with you, man. You know absolutely everything, and it makes me so happy. Tons of Lings, tons of Roaches popping out here for Denver as both players sort of settle down on their drone production. Right now, even though Reynor got a significantly slower third base, he is going to have 10 more drones than his opponent. Well, I say 10. These Lings sneaking in from Denver might pick off 1 or 2 if they're lucky. Nice positioning here from Denver. He's being so annoying with a very small amount of Lings. He will get caught here by Reynor, trying to slip a few more in, but the Roaches from Reynor able to get in just in time. What a good defense there from Reynor. He's actually going to put down some static defense, a spine crawl at the third, as he does suspect. Well, he doesn't suspect, he knows now. Big pressure from Denver coming on the third. Steadfast, does Denver have enough to break down this third base?
I don't know. It's going to be really close to call, but he needs to. He is not on a layer. He is all in. Spine Crawler is going to get taken out at the top side. Big Corrosive Bile actually hitting a good number of those Lings. This +1 Carapace will help a lot. And actually, it's helping a ton. These Lings get so much more value, and this is almost an anti-timing right now for Denver. Reynor going to have his own +1 missile and roach speed coming down. So all of these roaches, in theory, oh man, if Reynor had chased, they should be dead, and he is going to go for some of these morphing eggs.
Very smart from Reynor. I love that it's like he's living in the future and listening to you. Steadfast. You were like, oh, if he would have chased him down, and he does. As you said, the huge difference right now is that Reynor with that earlier greedier build here with a +1, able to expand behind that, get a third base up, even in good time, but most importantly, get that roach speed and the lair. GG, and Reynor, unsurprisingly, takes game number 1. Oh, now, hang on just a minute. I got a big Discord error over the top of your face. Done. All right. So, Steadfast, that was a great game from Reynor. A little bit greedy play, as you said, mind gaming Denver just a little bit. Do you think Denver should have done something differently once he got that scout out of the evolution chamber, getting that +1 Carapace, or did he follow about as well as he could have?
It seems like his plan all along was to hit that hatch tech attack off of the 3, or no, this was only 2 gas, off the 2 gas and 42 drones. So honestly, upon seeing that, he should have just started up a layer. But the thing is, against a player like Reynor, who is so active and aggressive, I doubt it, but there is a chance that he didn't even check and didn't even see that there was +1 Carapace. If he had, I feel like he doesn't want to go for that attack. I feel like you don't want to go into that, because part of what makes the attack so strong is that +1 missile against Lings. It is such a huge game changer. But just a really, really nice play from Reynor out of a kind of cheeky, greedy build that's off meta, makes Denver think twice, and then it didn't get as much done as it could have. I would say it was about a wash after that initial attack. Okay. But he just plays the way that Reynor does, and just so well. And now Denver is going to be thinking, what if you do something crazy again? And he still beat him in the standard play.
Yeah, that's what I love about it, is that there was a genuine moment where that attack on Reynor's third base was coming, and we were both like, oh man, gonna be a real close one. And even when it comes down to the micro style, Reynor is still just an incredible player. It's what makes him such a dangerous and powerful force. He's good on strategy, he's good on macro, and when it comes down to it, whether he's ahead, behind, he's in such good shape for the micro battle, and he's gonna win those 9 times out of 10. So you gotta come at him with something a little bit more than an even fight. As we get into game number 2 here on Lightshade LE, Steadfast, I'll have you introduce our first player of the day.
Sounds good. Spawning up in the top left position, representing Clash, it is the Italian Spaghetti Boy. Give it up for Reynor.
And his opponent in the bottom right-hand side in the red from Team Coca, Authentica Pepite, which chat has informed me, Steadfast, Pepite apparently means gold nugget. So the team is like the real gold nugget. So they're named after the Denver Nuggets, clearly. The basketball team from America. It is Denver.
That's making some omelets.
I love it. It looks like going to be a hatch first opener here for Denver. Now, Steadfast, we do not see a hatch first from Reynor, do we?
No, we do not. We're seeing a quick gas and pull here. And, well, I said it in game 1, a little bit of an off-meta build. A little bit, not off-meta necessarily, but unconventional build. And game 2, hitting him with that non-standard play once again. Denver, of course, known for his aggression. And Reynor's like, no, I'm going to take the fight to you.
Yeah, very smart here. And Reynor is one of those players who has so much experience now on the big stage. You know, it's interesting. We were talking a little bit about Denver and Reynor the other day. These are two players whose career trajectories up until like 2018, early 2019 looked very similar, right? Both young EU players, both promising Zerg players, both picked up with good teams a while ago. Denver, of course, used to be on Infinity Gaming before they closed. And Reynor picked up with Clash a while ago, and it looked like both these players were set up to be strong forces. And just something about Reynor's play, his practice regimen, his talent level, whatever it was, allowed him to sort of ratchet himself up over where Denver had been. Of course, Denver struggled a little bit, losing his team, catching COVID during the qualifiers. I mean, a little bit of everything. But two players who look very similar, and I'm so happy, Steadfast, that both of these guys have guaranteed their spots in the top 2 of their bracket, meaning they're going to move on to the winner's bracket later. It's going to be so good to see Reynor and Denver duking it out. But I truly think even if Denver loses this, Steadfast, he is still going to put on a big smile, and this is a big tournament result for him.
Oh, he's got to be so happy coming top 2 in a group like this. Well, in any group, really. But in a group with so many strong Protoss players. Bly, who traditionally has been such a wild card in ZVZ, and realistically, all the Protoss players, they all have different styles. So the fact that he was able to beat every single one of them is such an incredible result for him, and he has got to be so pleased with that. But talking about, this is a big, oh my god, Denver with the incredible scout is going to see these lings right here, see the Baneling nest, and we may see a full wall at the front of his base right here. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to see.
I was about to ask what's the proper follow-up, but that's absolutely correct. A couple of Evo Chambers and a Roach Warren getting ready to defend against what looks like a pretty strong Baneling bust from Reynor. He's got 22 lings on the map, 2 more Banes here. Got a couple of a little bit of gas saved up, but Reynor's mostly spent almost all of his gas here on these 2 Banes. Gonna try and get the Roach Warren down, has good surface area, but there are 3 Queens here, Steadfast, and already these drones desperately trying to finish off that wall. The Queens are gonna hold for now, but things are looking pretty dire for Reynor, as this looks like it could be a good hold from Denver. Good scout.
Oh, it's going to be very close. That 1 Queen will get taken out, and the Lings are going to get in. Denver, he is going to get back into a wall. Nice positioning right there, but still these Queens will get taken out. But behind all this, Reynor is actually macroing out of this. I love the decision. He already started to macro as soon as he saw that, knew he'd be able to break through, but knew he probably wouldn't be able to end the game. And as a result, he is now ahead on workers. He scouts that layer, great information. Doesn't have a 3rd hatch down, but he is going to be able to really take some great map control with this, kind of deny a 3rd base, identify what his opponent's doing, and play it out from there. Oh, the split off, and now he gets a free pass at the drones on the natural. That is so good. Going to pick off 3 drones right, 4 drones right there.
Insane. Going for a 5th as well. I mean, this is insane. So many things going right for Reynor here. As you said, the macro back home, an inspired play. We see him crank out 18 more lings now just to be safe against the counter pressure. He has read Denver like a book here. The split was good, and in all the confusion and all the micro, Denver allowed all these Evo Chambers to finish. So now Denver is sitting with 4 Evo Chambers that he does not want, does not need, and will not use. That's a huge investment for absolutely no payoff. 1 Baneling here should be enough to scare away Denver. And if this Baneling gets a good shot, then this game's just going to be close to over. My god, 22 army supply to 4. Steadfast, what on earth can Denver possibly do now? Is this Spire going to be the right call?
I do like the Spire decision, but he is going to have to find a way to hold on against this onslaught. I would say just double layer the wall now. Oh, but Denver, Reynor smartly going to go for a spot that is going to be really difficult to re-wall right here. He's got to get those Queens back. Okay, does reseal the wall.
Man, this is so annoying to deal with as Reynor. I'm sure he really wants to win this game more quickly, but as you said, he doesn't have to, right? He's got his 3rd base working now. He's still even-ish on drones. The Baneling's going to come in, and very nice. These Lings going to prevent the wall, and as the wall falls, so does